Guys, this is going to be part 2, shot from a T-Mobile Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. Now, you guys know that I think T-Mobile is a pretty crappy company, because this video is going to be for kids too, because kids need to know how to prepare for SHFT. I'm not going to tell you what that means. It's when blank hits the fan. Kids need to be prepared too. They can't always rely on their parents. They have to have some wherewithal, the know-how, the combat knowledge, or at least, oh, this plant is edible. I remember watching it on Brad's channel, and it's like, oh, wow, you really do pay attention, Caitlin. Very good. And it might not be the greatest tasting plants in the world, but at least it saves you. So, more about the sword. We're going to go over assault rifle or shotgun. A long rifle is a must-have. So you guys would like this one really good, and sure enough. So this is a Smith & Wesson M85 Sport 2. It's a great gun. It's got flippable back iron sights, standard A2 front iron sight post. Everybody should know how to use iron sights and shoot iron sights. You know, where you're looking through and you're trying to see how far to the left or to the right this has to go, or how far up and down this has to be, based on your elevation and range that you're shooting at. You know how far you are away. This is a Riton. This is a Tactics X1 RDD Gen 2 Riton optic. It's not the best optic in the world. I mean, yeah, this is the guy at Side of Range showed me pictures of him with his AR pistol chambered in 300 blackout, and he has one of these on there, and he showed me a video of him shooting with his buddies, and he was shooting it, and he likes it. But when the sun is the brightest it can ever be, you should be able to see a red dot, and I don't barely see it in those conditions. And you shouldn't have this. Well, I have an optic for shooting at night and an optic for shooting during the day. I mean, if it is a red dot optic or a green dot or a blue dot optic, it should be day and night. Now, yeah, you might say, I have a analog night vision scope that I use for nighttime shooting. Okay, that's fine. You have an optic for night and an optic for day. But an optic like this, a red dot optic or a green dot or blue dot optic or a pink dot optic, whatever color you have in there, you should be able to see it during the day when the sun's the brightest, and I don't. You can barely see it. But all optic sales are final, so I may have to put this on my crossbow, because I am getting a crossbow, and I am going to be. So then I'm just going to recite this in for the crossbow. But the AR-15 is great. I can run and gun with iron sights all day long. This came as a package deal. So this came with an Aquamax gun case, just a standard scoped rifle gun case for us. Rifle with an optic scope on it. It also came with PMags Gen 2 30-round magazine, PMags Gen 3 40-round magazine, and I am planning on getting a 50-round drum mag and then a double drum mag, which is a 100-round drum magazine it comes down like this, and there's a drum here, 50 drum here, and then a 50 drum on the left. So it'd be like a 100-round drum mag, but so then I can say I got 30, 40, 50, and then 100. Which would be great, but right now I'm trying to buy a Glock 41 chambered in 45 ACP, so I have a much better gun to deal with now. That 45 ACP is going to be pretty expensive. Hell, I already feel it with my lead nod Derringer. More on that later. Let me show you what it is. So this is my lead nod Derringer Double D model. Would never use this for self-defense, seeing as you only get 2 shots and you have to shoot them one at a time. So for instance, you pull back the trigger. It's got this little notch on the you pull back the hammer, notch on the hammer. When the notch is flipped to the left, the right firing pin goes off. When it's flipped to the left, when it's flipped to the left, the right firing pin goes off, and it's flipped to the right, the left firing pin goes off, and only one side works, and I'll show you how this operates. You have cocked the hammer, push the safety pin in. Safety is not for the trigger, it's for the hammer. pull these two back, break open the gun. I'll show you the action, like so. I've even placed my finger here and then fired the firing pin. Ow. Whew. Kind of pinches a little bit, kind of pokes. This feels more like a firing pin. Let's try the left one here. Just doesn't feel like it's all there, so this really needs to be looked at by a gunsmith. So I've only been able to shoot one. Side, which is the right side, shoots 45 long Colt or 410 shotgun, and I feel the hurt with 45 long Colt. I'm still spending about the same I'd pay for 45 ACP. You know, they're the same caliber of size. The difference is the 45 long Colt has these grooves on the side that goes around the whole circumference of the shell that allow it to go into a revolver and fit. A 45 ACP is designed for automatic Colt pistol, so it goes into a semi-automatic handgun because it doesn't have any of these striations around the thing. I put a standard 45 ACP in here. It's going to go a little bit down in there and then boop, stop. And I could just go like this and be like, go all the way to the back, and go cock and go boop, and it might go off, but the shell is going to go forward too and get jammed there, and it's just not worth it. This was a trash find, actually. I work at a business that the owner rents FEMA RVs. He blocks them down and has also mini cottages and all that stuff. And he had a customer that moved out of an RV, and he left a bunch of crack tablets, some old moldy clothes, and some moldy food, and this. Coworker of mine who didn't speak good English, didn't know what this was, didn't know how to open it, sold it to me for $25. Best money ever spent. So this would be like Custer's last stand if I had to. Custer's last stand. I don't have enough time to reload any of my pistols, my AR-15s, whatever. I just go bam. I just go bam. Just pull out and go. And the bad guy's like, bah, and he falls down, or I get him in the leg or the kneecap. He's like, bah, and he stumbles, and then I'm able to grab all my crap and leave, you know, and go to a fallback position and then reload. So that's what that is. And I do have a black powder ball cap, which I can show you. It needs to be looked at by a gunsmith, though. Action's kind of broke on it, but again, this would be a Custer's last stand weapon too. Don't want to go up against a bad guy with that. But so now that we've talking about the shield, the sword, and again, this is 5.56. Recommend 5.56 in the minimum, because if you're in combat, you have a 223 AR-15. Pop, 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 and you say, "Hey, buddy, toss me a mag." And Sandra's like, "What, Sandra? Girl, toss me a mag," and she tosses you a magazine with 5.56. You put it in and you go, and then you go to shoot, pop, pop, and the chamber explodes. Because 5.56 by 45, also known as 5.56, has more back pressure than a 223. That's why a 5.56 assault rifle can shoot 5.56 or 223. A 223 assault rifle can only shoot 223s. So 5.56 is better, because you have the luxury of having both. And in combat, you can't always assume that everybody has 223. You have to assume the magazine that they give you, based on your caliber, is 5.56. That the magazine that they give you is full of 5.56 ammo. So you have to get a 5.56 AR-15 to negate the possibility of a chamber exploding. So now, moving on to the shield. Instead of the sword, now we'll be talking about the shield. And this is something I really believe in. I really believe in the shield part as well, so let's get down to it, shall we? This is a VISM brand plate carrier, and I have level 3 steel armor plates from BAM. And a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, just look at just look at Garantham's video. He's shooting at level 3 steel AR 500 armor plates and getting a little bit of copper jackets in the chin or whatever." FPS Rush has said, "Quote: the anti-spall coating kits, all that copper projectile, all those little jacket shreds, it catches everything. But just in case it doesn't, I'm actually going to do a video where we're going to be testing level 3 armor plates where we put a thick layer of Flex Seal paint over it to give it a more thicker seal. So if the anti-spall coating on this particular vest, and I've shot the plate a couple of times already, has caught everything. You know, we had a ballistics gel head. It caught everything. It didn't splinter. It didn't fail to catch everything. It's done everything it should. Some decent plate. Level 3A, level 3A plus, level 4 standard, and level 4 maximum have a shelf life of about 5 years, and they expire, and you have to get them replaced. Legally, you can't sell expired body armor, and so Kentucky Ballistics, his name is Scott, tested a whole bunch of expired level 4 max rated and level 4 standard body armor from Premier Body Armor. They just sent it to him to see if it's still good. I don't have to stop the maximum round. Level 4 is graded 4, which is 308 caliber ball armor piercing rounds at 2000 feet to 3200 feet per second, and that armor piercing 308 ball ammo round out of his little AR-15, and then out of his little bolt action rifle, went straight through the first plate, went through the ballistic gel torso, and hit the back of the plate, went almost all the way through, bullets the back of the outer part of the plate, and part of that bullet is sticking out. So, you know, once it expires, it's not good. You can't use it anymore. Plus, you can't get that stuff because it is part Kevlar. Even though it is ceramic, it's part Kevlar too. You can't expose Kevlar to the UV sun, otherwise it weakens it. Level 3 and level 3 plus is steel armor. But level 3 plus is going to add more weight to your pack, but it doesn't expire. So there you go. And level 3 stops 308 ball ammo rounds at 2000 feet per second. Level 3 plus can stop still 308 caliber ball ammo rounds, but instead of 2000 feet per second, and now can stop it at 3600 feet per second. So you get more FPS rating, which is great. Considering, let's say you have somebody with my brother's like, I got an AR-15 with a 20-inch barrel, and that 5.5, those 223 rounds come out, and they can punch straight through your armor. Enough, because the bullet spends more time in the chamber with that propellant, building up more velocity, more energy, more mass, more inertia. It's going to have a lot more velocity to punch through your plates. Okay, well, I have level 3 plus plates you won't be able to punch through. And besides, no one's going to be walking around with a fucking 20-inch barrel or a 25, 30-inch AR-15 with a 20, 25, 30-inch barrel. That's like ridiculous. That's if you're like set up a few hundred yards or 1,000 yards away. You got an actual sniper scope on your AR-15. You're looking to get that long-range shot. Getting up close and personal, your medium to short-range shots, you're going to be looking at just a standard length AR-15 barrel or an AR pistol barrel or whatever, you know. Or anything. It'd be like using a bare 50 cal M107 medium to close range, just like running into combat with the infantry guys with no scope on, just going even with a long short barrel. I mean, it's ridiculous. Those longer barrel rifles are for longer range shooting. They're not for up close and personal for standard infantry fighting. So, you know, we're also going to be talking about also part of the shield is combat medic packs, but also protecting your eyes. You need shooter's glasses. You also need sunglasses. Now, these are sunglasses that a coworker of mine has given me. Well, actually, I got sunglasses from two different coworkers. So a coworker of mine gave me these aviator shades. They don't look that bad. The problem is they have a black hue tint to everything, so I can't see quite everything quite good. But you know, when they're cleaned, they need to be cleaned. They're okay. Keep the sun out of your face. Blah blah blah. Now my other coworker, they both don't speak really good English. She gave me these. These are a $120 pair of sunglasses. They're HD vision though. There is a slight brown, lightest brown hue in the house, but you go outside, I mean, it's like HD vision. I can see everything fine. The letters on the radio, everything is just great. And she's like, well, I have, she says in her limited English, I have Ray-Bans. They're like $250. I'm like, $250? 250? Sí, 250. 250? Oh my god. So these were only 120, but she gave them to me. And they're HD vision, not bad, even though it's a woman's sunglasses. Sunglasses is better than no sunglasses at all. So, and you don't want to cheap out on eye protection. So, also make sure you have plenty of, when we're talking about the shield part also incorporates part of the sword too, so make sure you also have tons of extra magazines in your assault pack. Make sure you have extra boxes of ammo in your assault packs, and MREs, protein bars, drink powder mixes as well. So now we're going to be going on to more of the shield, and we're talking about medical stuff. Let's get to it. So this is a military mil-spec full stock combat medic bag I picked up from quartermaster.com, and has all of the typical equipment that a combat medic bag. This ain't filled just they don't cram this stuff with crap you get from Eckerd's or CVS Pharmacy or Walgreens or your local drugstore or shopping store. This is medical equipment that have been combat tested. Quick clot combat gauze, which it's quick clot gauze. Every gauze, every bandage has a maximum absorbency. If you're still bleeding and you have exceeded the maximum absorbency, it's going to drip, 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 drop, drip, drop, and it's not good. Quick clot powder is the best thing to have in your bag. Never mind. Forget about the fact that the doctor has to go in there and scrape all that quick clotting powder out with a sharp object to perform surgery. It stops the blood instantly. A chemical reaction happens when it touches the blood. It burns, creates a big thick barrier. No more bleeding, no more dripping, no more leakage, no more heart beating so much faster. Your body can actually stabilize. Some more JBC military gauze, 1.4 yard by 4.5 inch 6 polysterile 5 folded gauze bandages from JBC Cores. We got tourniquets in here. We have compression gauze dressings, the H bandage. We have Israeli military bandages that don't require any adhesive stuff, because as you wrap it around the wound and it sucks up the blood, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. We have tons of standard tourniquets, cat tourniquets, sand tourniquets, gloves. We got more combat quick lock gauze. We have micro purification tablets, emergency drinking water tablets. We have 3 full suture kits. Okay, this is one of these Israeli bandages I was talking about earlier. Maybe some of you don't know. As you wrap this around a gunshot wound or a knife wound, and it absorbs the blood, it gets really, really tight, so there's no need to have any adhesive holding it together. It'll hold itself. Again, we have M85 masks, which of course they don't work. I'm sorry, my bad. They're not M85 masks. They're medical masks that doctors and nurses use when performing surgery. We have some sterile 30 millimeter syringes if you give somebody an IV drip with a circular tube where we have to insert needles or syringes of different types of medications, of liquid medications. We use these. These are one and done. You use them, you throw them away. There's no cleaning this out. There's no putting this in the dishwasher. You use it, you throw it away. Just like using a hypodermic needle on somebody, you use it once, you throw it away. They're so cheap, like $1.99. The local surplus store. And we have also, a lot of people don't actually carry this in their packs, but we carry pupil gauge lights for people who might be intoxicated, and they have a little gauge where you can gauge somebody's pupil to see, you know, how big or small their pupil is based on if they're intoxicated or not. And we have some more extreme bleeding, Everstop, extreme bleed stop, gauze bandages, and stuff like that. Had to mention earlier about the different mics we have on here for certain situations. If I have somebody who's with me and I have to have my combat pack with me because of the ammo and food situation, and I got somebody else who I happen to rescue on the way during SHFT and they really want to help out. I mean, you really want to help out. Sure, see, yeah, I want to help out. Okay, here's one of my handguns. You know how to shoot? Yes. Don't shoot at me. And put this bag on, and I'll give you a ham radio. And then, of course, this ham radio's microphone would go to a ham radio I give him so he can communicate with us. And then, of course, this would go to a 911 radio. This is a Motorola's Jedi microphone. I do have another combat bag per se, and it's just an old Soviet Army surplus Army rucksack. I put medical bag in here because I have all of my other medical equipment that doesn't fit in here. Fits in here, and we're talking like 5, 6, 7, 8 different bags that have a fiberglass system, the fiberglass medical system. It allows me to, because I know how to fit bone, place bone back in where they should be, and that can make you a cast for your wrist, your arm, your elbow, your leg, your foot, your ankle, whatever. This thing also contains this black thing right here, which is my IFAK, and I have everything in here that I should have, and much more. I got 2 suture kits in here. I got 9 suture kits in the main bag, so I am really prepared tremendously. There's nothing SHFT can do to me. They can't throw anything at me that I haven't prepared for. I got tons of life straws too, which allows you, one life straw with a charcoal filter is good for about 100,000 gallons. After that, you have to get, it's good for about, say, 10,000 gallons. And then you have to use another one, and you can just simply blow it out when you're done using it, put it back in your original packaging, zip it up, shove it in your bag, and you're good to go. Now let's talk about the assault pack, because this is something I have to go over before I end this video. This is my assault pack. You need to make sure you have plenty of ammo with you. I got 308 Winchester because I am getting a 300 Win Mag AR-15 upper that I can swap out my, put on my Smith & Wesson M85 Sport 2 lower. I'm going to swap it out and say do 308. 308 just add a little bit more weight to your bag, but yeah, it is what it is. Custer's Last Stands. I make sure this thing is fully loaded and the caps are on here before I store it in here if I'm going out during SHFT, and if I have to pull it out and go, you know, pop, 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 well then I can, and I have like a Last Stand item. I have a my bayonet for my AR-15. Not bad. It is made in China though, but you know, it is stainless steel. Really sharp, and I have a rock sharpener, a rock used for sharpening your blades. I just have a phone here, not really anything significant about that. This little pouch right here I have a full Gillette razor. I have a portable toothbrush. I have portable, um, you know, uh, bars of soap, a portable shaving kit. I have portable toothpaste containers that are in a survival toothpaste container packs. I have UV lights that allow me to, it almost looks like glow sticks, and you don't break them. You hold them up to the sunlight or to a light bulb that's on. They recharge, you turn off the lights, they glow green. So they use light to recharge so they can glow during at night. This out, I have Italian roast, chocolates, a bunch of these protein powder bars and Atkins bars and all of this. These will add some meals to your thing. And I do have Mountain House in here as well. The problem is Mountain House no longer makes like camping food for civilians. They only sell to the U.S. government now, but there are some alternatives that you can get. And Walmart still sells actual MREs. So I have several MREs. Like this is the Menu 17 pork sausage with gravy. And people always say these are meals refusing to evacuate. You can't eat these. You don't want to eat these. I can eat MREs for months, for years, and I wouldn't even complain about it. They're so delicious. The only one I would not eat is the ratatouille vegan vegetable one. I tried that one. It was disgusting. I did take the drink powder. I did take the dessert that they had, which wasn't bad. And I took the little 2 pieces of gum and the salsa packet, and that was it. I gave the rest to a friend of mine. He's like, yeah, this is terrible. This is not good at all. Again, I have mole stuff here I can add stuff to. Like this right here, I purposely put this here so I can add a ham radio holster if I have to just carry an extra ham radio with me in case, we find somebody, along the way during SHFT who wants to help out. They have some training experience. Okay, you can, while you're with us, take this ham radio. When we take you to the safe zone, that's it. You're done. Blah, blah, blah. So I also have a K-bar, U.S. Marine Corps K-bar. This is great. Knife, and I may have to get another one too because they are really great. They're really sharp and they're really phenomenal. And it does have the holder, and I can put this on my LBE vest belt where all of my equipment on my belt would go, and it works really, really great. Bulletproof helmets, level 3A minimum. Don't get any of those reproduction hardened steel World War II helmets. You're gonna get it's not gonna work well, despite what the California State Militia says. Anything level 3A or higher is worth its weight in gold. Level 3A is going to be your entry level. You get a rifle rated bulletproof helmet. It's going to be about $2,000 according to Grantham. So, and especially with the inflation, it's going to be even more. So, again, that's just my little video of equipment that you can use to prepare for SHFT, survival, natural disasters, etc., etc. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, I also wanted to mention something. So that's a battery, AA battery thing that you saw me put on this radio right here, or I believe it was the other radio. I believe it was this. That came from an emergency Pelican case thing, and that came with a Motorola HT1250. With a limited Motorola camouflage housing. The only reason why I didn't actually pull this out is because you see it's being held together by Gorilla Glue. It has to be repaired. But I figured because it is inflation, I'd ask out to see if a company was willing to sponsor our channel. And sure enough, we got a sponsor. Sunny Radio Communications came through with that VHF MTS 2000 flash port. Because before I had this radio, and then it had for 911 communications, and then it HT1000 for weather communications. That's just too many radios to have, so I get 2 radios in one or 3 radios in one because I got 3 different zones. It's a lot better. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and put a like. If you guys have any comments on where I got my ham radios, about our sponsors, where I got the firearms from, the optics, you guys want to see me shooting any guns because I'll be shooting tomorrow. So if you guys want to see me shoot a particular gun, I'll be sure to go to the gun store today or tomorrow morning and pick up that gun. Thank you for watching. Share the video, put a like or favorite or whatever. Really helps us out. What we do here, and I guess we'll just we'll see you next time, guys. See you tomorrow.